Hi, welcome to lesson 9-6. Tonight we're going to be talking about greatest common factors. Greatest common factor can be written in short form as GCF. First, let's talk about what a factor actually is. Factors are a number of a number is what is 10 divided by in order to get the answer 10 with no remainders. Or I could also think about it as what times what equals 10, because remember, multiplication and division are the inverse operation of each other. I like to think about it as multiplication because it's easier for me, but you could do division. 10 times 1 equals 10. So I'm going to know that 1 is going to be my least factor and 10 is going to be my greatest. How else can I get to 10? 2 times 5, I can get to 10. Is there any other way that I can get to 10 with multiplication? There is not. So my factors of 10 are 1, 2, 5, and 10. Now let's find the factors of 12. 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. Those are my ways that I can get to 12. 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. There is no other way. Now, instead of looking for the factors, I'm looking for the greatest common factor. Greatest means biggest, the greatest number. Common means what they have the same. So I'm going to look at my 2 rows of factors here and find the greatest number that they have in common. They both have 1s, they both have 2s, and that looks like all that they have in common. So the greatest common factor, or the GCF, of 10 and 12 is 2.
Brain Tofu.
Professor Pogo and his students were called in to solve a mysterious problem at the prestigious Caltech Institute. Several cows were found floating upside down. Even stranger, the cows had numbers painted on their bodies. Looks like the handiwork of that nefarious ne'er-do-well, Tommy Rat.
That's right, Pogo. Try and solve this spellbinding mystery.
Professor Pogo scratched his head and thought for a moment. I've got it! We need to find the greatest common factor. Greatest common factor? Yes! Look at the numbers on the cows. We have 12, 18, and 24. Let's find all the numbers that divide into 12, 18, and 24. Let's see. The numbers that divide into 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. 1 divides into 12 12 times. 2 divides into 12 6 times. And 3 divides into 12 4 times. These are all the factors of 12. Let's do the same for 18. 1 divides into 18 times. 2 divides into 18 9 times. And 3 divides into 18 6 times. These are all the factors of 18. Let's try 24. 1 goes into 24 times. 2 goes into 24 12 times. 3 goes into 24 8 times. And 4 goes into 24 6 times. These are all factors of 24. We are looking for the greatest common factor. Each of them has a factor of 1. Each of them has a factor of 2. And each of them has a factor of 3. Not all of them have a factor of 4, but each of them does have a factor of 6. 12 is a factor of 12 and 24, but not for 18. So which is the largest factor of all three numbers? The answer is 6. 6 is the greatest common factor. Mysteriously, the numbers on the cows disappeared, and the cows landed on their feet. The spell had been broken.
Dagnabbit, foiled again. I'll get you next time, Pogo.
We have solved the problem, and Tommy Rot is no longer a factor. Go, Pogo! Go, Pogo! Once again, Professor Pogo and his students have stopped the bad guy and saved the day.
Brain tofu.
All right, let's take a look at a couple other examples. Finding the greatest common factor between 10 and 25. The first thing I need to do is I need to list my factors of 10 and my factors of 25. How do I get to 10? 1 times 10, 2 times 5. There's no other way that I can multiply to get to 10. 25, how do I get to 25? I always have a 1 times that number. 2, I don't believe that I can multiply by 2 to get to 25. First of all, I know that because 2 is not an even number. 3s, not quite sure if there's a 3, but I do know for sure that there is a 5. 5 times 5 is 25. I don't need to list the 5 twice. Is there any other way to get to 25? Not that I'm aware of. So I'm actually going to move this 25 a bit closer and erase it there. So my factors of 25 are 1, 5, and 25. Now what I need to do is I need to find the greatest common factor. The greatest number that they have in common is the number 5. So the GCF of 10 and 25 is 5. 6 and 27. Let's list the factors of 6. 1 times 6, 2 times 3, and there are no more. 27, how do I get to 27? 1 times 27. 2 times something wouldn't work because it's not even. 3 times 9 is 27. Is there any other way to get to 27? Not that I'm aware of. Last thing is, what's their greatest common factor? The greatest common factor between those two looks like 3. All right, let's look at our last one. Greatest common factor between 7 and 28. The factors of 7 are 1 times 7. And there are no other ways to get to 7 because 7 is a prime number. How do I get to 28? 1 times 28. 2, I know 2 works because it's an even number. 2 times 14. 3, there is no way to get to 3. 3 times something is never 28. But there is a 4. 4 times 7 is 28. 5, nope. 6 doesn't work either. And I already have my 7, and I've continued on up. Let's find the greatest common factor between the two. Looks like it would be 7. Take out your notebooks, please. There are 2 quick notes for you. The first one is what a greatest common factor is. It is the biggest factor that is the same. And what's a factor again? When numbers are multiplied together to get another number. I hope you understand what the greatest common factor is. We will see you tomorrow to do some more practicing. Good night.